you're not providing mothers with food, they're not going to, you're going to have a lot of infant mortality. So just to help families, children, everyone in these developing countries, they're giving more food to women and focusing on how can these women better spread the food around, because this isn't the way they were thinking about it before. It just wasn't happening. It just wasn't working out very well. There's this Unite to End Violence Against Women, and that's a new one. It's really neat. They have a lot of celebrity power. So you'll see a Nicole Kidman or Ricky Martin, and they're on there talking about you need to unite to end violence against women. I guess that's why it has a little eye. I don't know, kind of like the iPod. I don't know. You have the UN Global Initiative to Fight Human Trafficking, or GIFT, UN GIFT. And it was really created, it started in 2007. They just really wanted to be able to fight global human trafficking. But they specifically work with governments and businesses, academia, scholars, and the media. And they try to support everyone, get everybody together, because we can't do it alone. A government can't do it by themselves, and neither can a business, and neither can YouTube or, UNICEF. We all need to work together. So that's their goal. And the last one would be the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. And, I'll talk about that one a little more. So just thought you guys should know, 2 weeks from now, the Commission on the Status of Women, they're holding their annual conference in New York. And they'll be talking about education, really, and women and girls in education. And they review last year's theme, but since they haven't reviewed it yet, that information's not available on what they found. But it was about eliminating all forms of discrimination and violence against girls. That's their logo. So this protocol to prevent, suppress, and punish trafficking in persons, especially women and children, supplementing the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. That's its full name. That's not a description. That's its full name. This is a pivotal protocol that was signed and ratified by the member states. It's almost been signed and ratified by all of them. There are a few holdouts. But what makes this the most important is that this protocol is what makes human trafficking an international crime. And it says that each state shall adopt such legislative members. So it basically says you have to make a law. If you sign this, you're going to make a law as a country. So Algeria, you're making laws. In the United States, you're making laws so that anywhere a human trafficker is, he's going to be subject to international crime. He's going to go to jail. He's going to, whatever your country says, everywhere. It's not like, well, I have a safe haven if I go over here. Everyone signs it. And I think that's one of the best ways to get rid of something, to make something, to deter everybody, is to make it a crime everywhere, so that there's not one place where everyone goes and that's your little sin city. And Article 6 says that each state has to provide privacy and identity for the victims of human trafficking, and that they all should also get physical safety, so that includes medicine, psychological help, legal aid, just anything and everything that a victim might need. Right, medical care. That if a victim is in their territory, if we've got a Nicaraguan and the United States can't say, sorry, go back to Nicaragua. They're going to say, okay, you've been trafficked, we're going to help you, we'll try to do what we can for you. So this is a little movie. Hope it works.
The United Nations launched the Global Plan of Action Against Trafficking in Persons today. The plan aims to help the thousands of men, women and children who are trafficked each year. Many are kept as sex slaves or domestic servants. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon calls human trafficking among the worst violations of human rights.
It is slavery in the modern age. No country is immune. almost all play a part, either as a source of trafficked people, transit point, or destination.
The Global Plan of Action concentrates on the 3 Ps: preventing human trafficking, prosecuting offenders, and protecting victims.
As I speak, thousands of people are living as slaves. They need our help now.
So that's just a little movie from the UN. Uh-oh. Okay. So modern day slavery is human trafficking. People who are being human trafficked are modern day slaves. And they're not necessarily slaves in the way at least Americans have a view of them as, African Americans working in the fields and you have your white slave master. It's not like that anymore. It can be they could be next door and you might not even know it. They could be your neighbor's maid and you just think that they're your neighbor's maid, but actually they're not being paid anything or maybe a dime, and they're being held captive and they're being forced to live in that house. And it's just really horrendous. Here's some facts. About half a million to 2 million people are trafficked a year annually, and that's a nice estimate. In India, there are 2.3 million girls estimated and women to be in the sex industry, and when you combine it with the people that are being trafficked not for sex reasons, you have around 3 million people in India alone who are living this double life that you don't know of. And then their rescue rates are nearly 2,000. So when you have 3 million people being trafficked and only 2,000 being rescued, that gives you a 0.0006 rate of rescue. And that's staggering. It's horrendous. It's disgusting. It's horrible. Nobody should have to live that way. In Thailand alone, there are 1,500 known brothels. And these aren't just regular brothels. Half of them have children. And the younger they are, the more expensive they are. And then you see these children getting excited because when whoever is coming to purchase them, they say, "Oh, I'm 8." And then you'll have someone next to her say, "But I'm 7, so you should pick me." And you're thinking, what kind of world is this where children are saying, "I'm young, so I'm worth more," but they're 5 and they're 8, and these 50-year-old people are purchasing them, boys and girls, it doesn't matter. They'll go with whoever because they think, I'm going to get loved some way. Someone's going to love me. He'll love me for a little bit. She'll love me for a little bit. And it's just horrible how rampant it is in Thailand, and you can't miss it. If you ever go visit, it's just on the streets. People will approach you and they'll ask you, are you looking for a boy? Are you looking for a girl? What are you looking for? How much do you want to pay? Follow me. Just a random stranger. And they know that because people go to Thailand because they know that it's there. They know it's available. And if we don't make it illegal everywhere, how are we going to, stop things like that? 20% of sex trafficking victims are children, and between 66 and 83 are women. So you've got different numbers from different organizations. Some say more women, some say more children, some say men. It's a huge problem, and not enough people know about it. And unless we make them know about it, unless we teach them this is happening, it's never going to get better. Total in the world, there's an estimated 27 million slaves. 27 million. That is, you could combine all the largest cities in America, and that's still not 27 million people. That is a lot of people. So why are people trafficked? Well, obviously there's sex trafficking, and I don't think we need to say more about that, but there's also labor exploitation, and that's people being maids or farm workers, or they're in construction, or they're working in sweatshops, and these people just come from another country, and someone says, I'm going to give you a job, and it'll be a little more than what you make back home, but you're going to work where I tell you, when I tell you, and how I tell you.